Throughout all the years of me backpacking, and I have been backpacking for like 15 years, there is some gear that just through rain or shine or weather or travel or whatever it is has absolutely never let me down. It has become some of my go-to gear when I'm recommending it to others or outfitting others with their own gear so they can go on trips with me, or the trips that I'm taking on my own, that I have always brought this gear with me because it is just the best gear that has stuck with me through thick and thin. So that's what we're gonna be talking about today, is the gear that has never ever in a single time let me down. Now, I will tell you that I am not sponsored by like any of this gear that I'm gonna be talking about today, but I do have affiliate links that I'll be linking down in the description below. So if you are kind of watching this and you want to take a look at the gear for yourself or even purchase it, make sure to use the link down below. And it actually helps me out as well and just gives me a little bit of something for making the videos, since at least right now I'm doing this all just free of cost. I'm not earning any income on these videos, at least yet. So it really does help me out. Thanks. The first piece of gear that I absolutely love and has just never let me down, and I take it with me on pretty much all my trips, or I give it to somebody else to take with them on my trips, or even lend it out to people anyway, is the Granite Gear Blaze AC60. So this is like an older model version of this, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. Is I bought this backpack years and years ago. It was actually a REI garage sale item. So I didn't even buy it at full cost itself. But every single time I use this backpack, it has just performed perfectly well. It's great to pack into, it's really lightweight, it's very durable. It has never had anything, a single thing break on it. And one of the things I actually really enjoy about this pack is that you can exchange the hip belt between a men's belt and a women's belt really simply and really easily. So I've actually been able to lend this out to women that I take on the trips with me, like my wife or friends, that kind of stuff, that they just need like a slightly different shaped hip belt for themselves. And normally with packs, they're either, they don't have any kind of specific shaping for men and women, or they come with like, you have to have like the men's one or the women's one or whatever. But this one just has this really simple interchangeable belt that you just yank right out, put the other belt in, strap it in, and it's good to go. So this bag is it's the Blaze AC60, meaning it's a 60-liter bag. It's about 40 like this, and then if you extend the baffle all the way out, it gives you about another 20 liters, so it becomes a 60-liter bag. And man, this thing has been a lot of places with me and seen a lot of stuff and has never a single time failed me. So first one is the Blaze AC60 right here. The next one is actually a little bit of, I kind of feel like it's a cheat a little bit, but it's just a homemade backpacking quilt that I made. So it's a down fill. I sewed it myself and I made the baffles and all that kind of stuff. I bought all this material on the website Ripstop by the Roll. So if you want to go check that out, I'll put a link in the description for that as well. Just Ripstop by the Roll is where I bought the down and the fabric and the baffling and everything to make this guy. And it costs pretty much the same as a normal backpacking quilt, honestly, but I got the experience of learning how to sew and then creating my own and creating it just kind of the shape that I wanted it to and all that kind of stuff. But this backpacking quilt has also been with me to a lot of places and never let me down. And it's also the first one that I made. So it has a little bit of a soft spot in my heart to be the first down item that I've ever created. So I did sew a different one that was synthetic insulation, but it's the first down one. But it has also never let me down. It's kept me super warm in all sorts of weather and temperatures. It packs really well. I like the color and the shape of it and all that kind of stuff. But this one might feel like a little bit of a cheat, but this is a homemade backpacking quilt. And I'm still gonna give you a link in the description. It's not an affiliate link, but it is just to the website Ripstop by the Roll. So you can go check it out yourself and see if you want to sew your own backpacking quilt. It's so much fun and it's a great experience. And being able to use a piece of gear that you made is just this really unique feeling when you're out on the trail. So I'll go check it out. And since I feel a little bit bad that I gave you an item that I created that you can't just go out and buy, I will tell you that the Kelty 20-degree down bag, I'll put a link in the description for you on this one, but the Kelty 20-degree down bag is a really good budget sleeping bag. It's a 20-degree bag, it packs really well. It's also been really durable. I've used it for years, and I continue to use it or give it to people to use, that kind of stuff. So the Kelty 20-degree down bag is also, it's the Cosmic, is also a really good one to use. The next item is the JETBOIL Flash. I have used this thing constantly and given it to other people to use, and it's gone all over the country with me and on all sorts of camping trips and backpacking trips and all sorts of stuff. I constantly use it and I always go back to it at different times. I just need something that's like really reliable and durable and I know will get the job done. It has a lot of really cool features to it that make it just a really desirable stove to use. I'll go over them really quick, is just the cup itself, is you can use this to cook in, to drink out of, and to eat out of. The lid has a sippy top lid, so you can just drink out of it like that. There is a wind guard around the stove. There's also coils along the edge of this stove cup, so when you have it on the burner, it heats the coils and gives it a little bit more of an even cook on the bottom of the mug, which is really nice. It's also a nesting stove, so if you open it up, you have the attachments, the stove, and you can also put a canister in here for your isobutane or for your your alcohol. Oh my gosh, your gas canister, that's the word. So it's also nesting. It's really great. You can just hold on to it, that kind of stuff. So I'll go to other stoves at different times depending on what I want to do, or just trying out different gear. But the JETBOIL Flash is one that I can always go back to. I know it's reliable and good to use, and I've owned this thing for like 10 years, 8 years, and it's just never gone wrong for me. So JETBOIL Flash. The next one is the MSR Mini Works water filter. So this little guy right here, this is another instance of, I actually do often use different water filters. I use the Sawyer mini water filter a lot of times now, just because I like it's a little bit lighter and a little bit more compact and that kind of stuff. But I will say the Sawyer also kind of runs out of use much more quickly than the Mini Works. So as you put more water through the Sawyer, it gets less and less flow, and it's kind of hard to get, like, flush it out, that kind of stuff. Whereas with the MSR Mini Works right here, I have never had an issue with it. It's not my favorite one to use ever because it's a little bit heavier than the Sawyer and all that kind of stuff. And when you're pumping, you can basically fill up that with filtered water each time. So it takes a little bit longer to sort of filter water through it, but at the same time, it's hyper reliable. You never have to worry about if you're actually getting good filtering or not, because it is the Sawyer filter. A lot of other filters are either hollow fiber filters or paper filters. The MSR Mini Works, now I've kind of got into it, haven't I? Oh, the MSR Mini Works is a ceramic filter. So this thing is like super durable, really, really, really good at filtering water and getting out all the contaminants that is in any kind of water that you're using. So if you just need a filter that's going to do the heavy lifting and the really hard work, and you know you're going to get good, clean drinking water out of it, using the MSR Mini Works water filter is definitely the way to go. I have never single time regretted bringing this on a trip with me. So that's yeah, really good, plug for the MSR Mini Works. Here's the next one. It's the Arctery'x Titanium 750 milliliter mug. So all this gear that I have that I've been showing you, I've been using for at least a year, usually quite a bit longer than a year, that sort of thing. This mug is one that is probably never really gonna leave my repertoire of gear that I bring with me, because it's just really reliable, really clean, really, really lightweight. You can see, I've definitely cooked in this thing and used it. You can see the scorch marks on it and all that kind of stuff. This thing's gotten beat up, put directly in a fire to heat up things, put on stoves to heat up stuff. It just takes all the damage that you can give it, and it never complains. So especially if you're not using a kind of all-in-one cook kit system, if you're just using a small burner like the Snow Peak Gigapower or the BRS 3000T, those are also both really good stoves. You can just pack them right into this cup and put the canister in here with it. If you're doing alcohol fuel, you can put the cat can kind of stove in here with some alcohol, and you're just good to go. So this thing is super durable, reliable, lightweight. You can set it on a fire because it's not double-walled titanium. So I just love this. It has a little hanging thingy here, so you can hang it over a fire or pick it up by this if you need to. It also has the handles that work really well. So I love this thing, and it comes on all my trips with me. So definitely the Arctery'x 750 milliliter titanium cup. I have two honorable mentions for you for this video. First one is Darn Tough. As a brand, Darn Tough socks are super cool. I love them, and I use them all the time. I literally wear Darn Tough as my only sock that I wear on and off the trail. So I don't wear anything else. So Darn Tough socks are super awesome. They are a little bit more expensive than you would think for like normal socks, but they're made of merino wool. They're super reliable, and they also have an amazing return warranty. So I always wear Darn Tough socks for everything. So that's honorable mention number one. Number two is Arctery'x as a whole, like as a brand, is just a really great brand that is super durable and reliable, and they fit really well and really cleanly. They just put a lot of work and forethought and insight into how they craft their clothing, and it really shows in just how it wears on you and how it's comfortable, and you can just move around in it and feel like it's not getting in your way at all. In particular, this guy, I got this. This is the, I think the Beta, oh man, Delta AR, something like that. It's so long. I got this 14 years ago, 13 years ago, maybe, something like that. And I'm still wearing it. And the only wear that you really see is on the elbows. It's just a little bit of whitening here, excuse me, whitening here on the elbows. And it's just because I put my elbows on stuff all the time. But otherwise, this thing has just lasted for forever. And it is awesome piece of gear. So this is my honorable mention number 2. It's Arctery'x is the brand as a whole, I guess, but specifically this sweater has been so cool. I love it.